have a bolster. Don't have a bolster, use some cushions instead, or roll up a blanket, roll up a mat, or whatever you feel like is appropriate for you to do. And then we will have a revolutionary start to the practice. We will begin standing. So that's not quite what we usually do, but good to change things up. This week I've decided to go with sun. There's the sun shining into this space right now, which you can't see. But as we're moving into winter right now, there's that sense of warmth that we might want within us, and oftentimes it's the darker time of the year, so we might want to shine some light onto things that we're hiding somewhere, let's say. So to start our practice with, you come to stand maybe closer toward the front of your mat, if that's a way of facing me, that is. And I invite you to just rock a little bit over the feet, so to get a sense of the feet on the ground. I'm just doing that in a very random way, not just forwards and backwards. I'm also rolling to the edges of my feet, inside and out. And I'm starting to move a little bit more. And I invite you to maybe even lift your toes. And then maybe deliberately for a while, rocking just really over to the sides of the feet. And then let's pause that and see if you can create a tall standing circle, as if there were a coin underneath the arches of the feet. I'd like to circle around that coin. Then let's change the direction. And then finding your stance. Starting to actively lift the arches of the feet, grounding through the heel and the ball of the foot. The toes are more gently touching the ground as we activate through our legs into the glutes. And standing really tall, you might want to start with the palms open toward the front. Really feeling as if the crown of the head was reaching up towards the sunshine. Closing the eyes just for a moment. Allowing yourself to remain active, switched on in the lower part of the body and quite at ease in the upper part. Asking you now to focus on your breath and breathing right down deep into your lungs, feeling diaphragm pushing into the belly, belly opening up, and then belly coming back in. So breath into the abdomen and letting that gently activated move back in. Maybe adding the Ujjayi technique, slight constriction in the back of the throat. And then just simply changing one thing, touching palms of your hands together in front of your chest. You could lightly touch the thumbs to the sternum, keeping the elbows and shoulders relaxed here. Keeping your breath flowing in and out of the nose. And we will add a movement toward the sun and bowing before the sun. With the next inhalation, you can open the eyes, of course. Lift the hands while they might still be touching, and then open the arms out wide and lift through the sternum and lift through the gaze. Lightly activate the core muscles to hold yourself here safely. And maybe starting to think about a sunlight rising from just above your navel right into your heart and shining up and outwards. Then let's soften the knees. Let your arms and body just float forward. You might just place your belly over your thighs as you melt down into this forward fold. Just allowing everything to lazily kind of hang down, being comfortable in that position, the upper body releasing, the tailbone reasonably high, neck relaxed, shoulders soft. And we come out of this shape by lightly engaging the core muscles. And then imagine there's a sun rising from the base of your spine as you're starting to curl up slowly, right up towards the crown of the head as that is lifting. And we're taking another breath to open the arms, lift through the sternum, feeling that sun shining from within, right up into our heart space. And then taking the hands back together in front of the chest. Pause here for a moment, maybe closing the eyes. We'll repeat that again. Just let the energy that you've just cultivated settle. Everything will be very slow today. So let us take another breath in, lifting through the hands, then open them up, engage your core, lift through the sternum, thinking about the sun shining from the solar plexus up to the heart. And then as you bend your knees, melting this forward. So being really kind to your spine as you lean over your thighs, let the upper body release, then maybe lifting the hips up. Allowing yourself to surrender before the sun. And we'll do that with an exhalation as always, switching the core on. Thinking about the rising sun coming from the base of the spine as you're curling up. Sun rises with you all the way across the spine, right up to the crown of the head. And when you're standing, open back up and shine your own sun from the solar plexus up to the heart, core engaged to keep that lift safe. And then bring the hands back down to touch in front of the heart space. Pause for a moment, maybe closing the eyes. Notice if there's any energy shift within yourself. Although the movement is quite gentle, it might wake you up a little bit more. Let's repeat for the last round. So with an inhalation, lift the hands in front of you, then open the arms, the palms, lift through the sternum. Think about the sun shining from solar plexus into your heart. The core is on. And then as you soften your knees, just melting it forward. Belly over thighs, upper body dropping. Shoulders, neck relaxing. Waiting for an out breath as you engage your core when it comes. Think about the sun rising all the way from your tailbone up the spine as you curl into standing, right up to the crown of the head. And take a deep breath in to open again, reaching up, shining the light up to the heart. And once again, touching the palms of the hands together as we come to stand. If you like, you can relax the hands down for a moment and again, feeling into your body and how you're responding to that movement. I think most of you are very familiar with sun salutations. That was kind of the preparation to go there. I will show you the way we will salute to the sun this morning. There will be a mantra coming along with that. So I will ask you first of all to make sure that you are safe. And when you are safe in these movements, you can modify them gently. So we might do one round without using the mantra. As we start in the same way, we bring the hands together in front of our chest. And I guess with the mantra, it will be even slower. Let's take a breath in. Open the arms up again, shining your own light up to your heart. Then folding forward. And you can do that in that gentle way we've practiced before. Now stepping one foot back and lowering the knee down to the mat. Stepping the other one back into a plank. Kneeling plank is of course fine. Then lower, but not quite all the way down. Just a chaturanga if you can. Lower down if you need to. Then lift into a cobra. And from your cobra, reach back into a downward dog. If downward facing dog is too strong, you can do the usual and maybe do a puppy pose instead. When you step forward now with the same foot again, the back knee is once more on the floor. And then we will step the foot forward into a forward bend. If you need to roll up, please do so. Otherwise, rise straight up from the ground, open back up from solar plexus to heart. And then we'll bring the hands back down in front of the chest. So it's a very simple way of saluting the sun. There's no half lift or anything in it. And if you want to step it up, you can using the knee off the floor, a full plank, holding chaturanga longer. And the opposite applies as well. If you need a little bit more gentleness, you might want to stay on your knees instead, curl up or modify in your own way. It will start where we just simply stand for the first verse in mountain pose. I will guide you through anyway. It's so slow that I can still talk to you. And you will notice, and in a little while, you will just flow along with the mantra, saluting the sun. Extending.
Om Ravaye Namaha.
Forward bend.
Om Suryaya Namaha.
Right foot back.
Om Bhanave Namaha. Om
Plank.
Khagaya Namaha.
Chaturanga.
Om Pushne Namaha.
Cobra.
Om Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha.
Down dog.
Om Mariche Namaha. Om
Right foot forward.
Adityaya Namaha. Om
Forward bend.
Savitre Namaha.
Rising.
Om Arkaya Namaha. Om
Mountain.
Bhaskaraya Namaha.
Hold here for the length of the mantra. Eyes can be closed.
Savitra Surya Narayanaya Namaha.
Mountain pose.
Om Mitraya Namaha.
Extending.
Om Ravaye Namaha.
Forward bend.
Om Suryaya Namaha.
Left foot back.
Om Bhanave Namaha.
Plank.
Om Khagaya Namaha.
Chaturanga.
Om Pushne Namaha.
Cobra.
Om Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha.
Down dog.
Om Mariche Namaha.
Left foot forward.
Om Adityaya Namaha.
Forward bend.
Om Savitre Namaha.
Rising.
Om Arkaya Namaha. Om
Mountain.
Bhaskaraya Namaha.
Just standing. Eyes can be closed.
Om Shri Savitra Surya Narayanaya Namaha.
Go again, mountain pose.
Om Mitraya Namaha.
Extend.
Om Ravaye Namaha.
Forward fold.
Om Suryaya Namaha.
Right foot back.
Om Bhanave Namaha.
Plank.
Om Khagaya Namaha.
Chaturanga.
Om Pushne Namaha.
Cobra.
Om Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha.
Down dog.
Om Mariche Namaha.
Right foot forward.
Om Adityaya Namaha.
Forward bend.
Om Savitre Namaha.
Rise.
Om Arkaya Namaha. Om
Hands to heart.
Bhaskaraya Namaha.
Mountain and closing the eyes. Preparing for the last round.
Om Shri Savitra Surya Narayanaya Namaha.
Mountain.
Om Mitraya Namaha.
Extend.
Om Ravaye Namaha.
Forward bend.
Om Suryaya Namaha.
Left foot back.
Om Bhanave Namaha.
Plank.
Om Khagaya Namaha.
Chaturanga.
Om Pushne Namaha.
Back bend.
Om Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha.
Down dog.
Om Mariche Namaha.
Left foot forward.
Om Adityaya Namaha.
Forward bend.
Om Savitre Namaha.
Rising.
Om Arkaya Namaha.
Mountain.
Om Bhaskaraya Namaha.
Hold for the length of the mantra.
Om Shri Savitra Surya Narayanaya Namaha.
Let the arms relax and pause for a moment. Maybe you were able to cultivate a bit of light shining from within, but for sure a bit of warmth coming through the body. We'll ask you to step back onto the mat from here. Maybe having the mat squared off and a bit of a wider stance. To turn your right foot to face to one short edge of the mat. The back heel in that case a little bit further out. So do allow the hip to rotate lightly inwards, activating through the front thigh so the knee is turned in line with the toes. I'm after a triangle pose, and as usual, it's up to you how deep you're going, but I would love you to still be able to breathe. Let us just bring the hands to touch, turn toward our front leg, and as we keep the spine quite long, let the hands slide down a little. So that from this place, when we're opening up, we're actually already in the right position. We'll keep with the theme of the sun rising and setting. So we'll use our left arm. As we breathe in, let's rise the sun up. And then you might bend your knees as you let the sun set again. The legs will straighten as the sun is rising, lifting up on the inhale, and then bending the knees as you circle your arm down on the exhale. I invite you to do that for 3 more rounds. When you completed those 3 rounds, pause for a moment, extend again through your legs, once more lengthening through the spine. And I'll ask you to launch a bright shining sun. So you might want to bend into your right knee, shifting the weight forward, and then let's open our arms. Spread out through the fingers, and if you can, then lifting the foot off the ground. Finding yourself in a standing balance. Let's land that balance back down. Take a deep full breath as once again lifting through the solar plexus, the sun rises to the heart. Palms could touch or arms can be open. Then turn the heels a little bit out. Soften your knees, and same as we did in that first part, we'll just bow down before the sun. If your hands easily touch the floor, you might want to leave your palms facing upwards. Doesn't mean they have to fingers point forward. You could point your fingers backwards here. Letting the arms slide through the legs as you lean the weight gently forward within your feet. Let the upper body be completely soft, even the elbows. The head is hanging down, and you might just use a deeper out breath to extend further into that shape. Two more long breaths out. You might then place your hands down, bend your knees, and use your core as you're rising your sun again from the base of the spine right to the top of the head. And you might just shrug your shoulders back once you're landing, standing again nice and tall, just with your legs out wide. We'll now repeat that on the other side. So we're turning our left foot out and then the right heel a bit, allowing again that slight inward rotation in the hip, activating through the left thigh so we can rotate the knee in alignment with our toes. Standing nice and tall, we'll touch the hands together and we'll turn lightly towards that extended leg and then just leaning into the shape, keeping a long spine. And let our sun rise again. As you take a breath in, let the sun rise up. And when you're breathing out and you're swinging your arm back and down, your knees can be bent as the palms touch again. Let's go again. Take a breath in. Let your sun rise. A breath out as we soften that back down. 3 more. On your own time, you can follow the hand with the gaze if you like. Once completed, you hold the hands together, you're lengthening your spine again. I need a bit more space here. So bending into your left knee from there. Let's open into shining sun. You can slide the foot in, start to open your arms, and then maybe lifting the toes off the ground. Find yourself sparkling. Then land the foot again. Nice wide stance, reach the arms up, lift through the sternum, shine the sun up to your heart. Turn the heels a little bit out. And then let the sun set again as you're bending the knees and melting once more into a forward fold. You can leave your knees at a bend, or you could almost straighten them, whichever feels best for you. Lengthening the out breaths as we settle back into that shape. And either you're staying right here or we're changing things over. As you might reach with your left hand toward your right ankle or somewhere against your leg. And then let the sun rise right from the earth as you take a breath in, lifting the sun up into the sky, Finding your balance across your feet in the pelvis. And you could let that sun set right behind your back if you like. And bring your nose a bit closer towards your knee. A few deeper breaths out. And then we will collapse that down. So just sliding your hands back toward the floor. Maybe allowing that next exhalation to just deepen your forward bend. Then let your right hand reach towards your left ankle or outside of the leg somewhere. And let the sun rise again right from the ground up towards the sky. Finding your balance in the stance across the feet, in the hips. And maybe the sun goes all the way down behind your back. And if it feels good, you can take your nose closer to your knee. Holding here. Same here, we will just soften back down toward the ground. And this time we will bend our knees and bring them down onto the mat. We will change ourselves straight into a light inversion. If that's suitable for you, no high blood pressure, no pressure issues somewhere around your eyes, your head, you can place the crown of the head down. If you do have high blood pressure and that makes you feel a little bit nauseous, you might prefer a child's pose instead. But otherwise, placing your hands down, just resting on the crown of the head. If any of you want to go crazy with this shape, you could, but not what I'm after today. If you like, you can get a lift into the shoulders, and please do so if you were to extend yourself into a full headstand. But this is perfectly fine just as it is, allowing the blood flow to move into the head. And then we'll all sit down toward the heels. You can leave the head low for a little bit longer. You can even let your arms extend by the sides of the body. The shoulders drop forward. With the next long, slow out breath, let's curl ourselves up into sitting. You can use the hands there as a support if you like. And once we come up to sit, I invite you to grab your bolster or a like and just place that down in front of you. It might be nice for you to use, it might not be. So again, it's up to you how you're practicing. It might also be nice to have another little cushion to pop underneath your bottom. So I will grab one and do so. If you're easily getting cold, the real heating part of this practice might be completed. So you could put your top or even your socks back on if that makes you more comfortable. So we're sitting behind our bolster, let's call it that, maybe on a light cushioning, and we're just placing the bolster comfortably under the knees. Now let's keep the toes facing upwards. Bring your hands a little bit down by the sides of the body so that you're finding a nice and tall seat. From that seat, let's touch the hands back together in front of the heart. You might briefly close the eyes. Reconnect to the deep flow of your breathing. Now, when you're taking your next inhale, lift the hands, similar to what we've done standing when we begin. Lifting through the sternum. Engage your core so you're not hanging in your back. And think about the sun rising from above your navel to the heart. And then as you're breathing out, just folding over your legs. Releasing the whole upper body down. Allow yourself just to melt forward and relax. If your knees need to be bent more, that's okay. And then let once more that image come to mind, that the sun rises from the very base of your spine as you're rolling up with that little bit of core support. The sun rises right back up, and we are opening our inner sun to lift and lighten the heart before bringing the hands back to touch exactly there at the heart. Allowing yourself to breathe deeply. Now, if you feel very comfortable sitting here like this, you could just bend the knees, maybe touch the soles of the feet together, or even cross your ankles. If you find it more comfortable to actually sit upon the bolster, that's your choice. So we're practicing Surya Vedana Pranayama, which simply means we're inviting more sun into our bodies. With that, a little bit of warmth and maybe helping our digestive fire as well. So your choice to stay seated behind or on top of your bolster. It's also your choice which hand you would like to use to block the nostrils. So it's very similar to alternate nostril breathing. In the case of this, I like to use my left hand rather than my right, but that's again up to you. If you want to support the arm, because it could get heavy, place the elbow into the palm of the hand. You can touch the two fingers, index, middle finger, to the third eye point, or you could even fold them into the palm of the hand using a different mudra. So we're using the thumb and the ring finger for this practice. Keep yourself effortless in a tall seat, shoulders relaxed. And we will always close the left nostril to inhale through the right side. That's where we start, breathing in deeply through the right nostril. Now close the right, open the left and exhale through the left nostril. Close the left nostril again, inhaling right. Open, exhaling left. We keep practicing like this. In breath, always right side. And every exhale through the left. Keep practicing, inhaling right, exhaling left. And as you get familiar with the technique, starting to engage deeper into the breath itself. As you let the breath rise from belly to ribs to collarbones, and leave from belly to ribs to collarbones. Inhaling. Exhaling. If you're very familiar with Ujjayi, you can add the Ujjayi technique as well. allowing an even ratio, same lengths for in and out breath. I invite you to continue that for another 3 rounds. When you have completed your rounds, just pause for a moment. Hands could rest down. Notice what it is like right now. Although I would invite you then to come and lie down, I would ask you to keep your bolster close by. And if you are using a cushioning to sit on, you might actually want to place that light cushioning underneath your head. When we're lying down on the left side of the body to begin with. And you could fold, if you like, your cushion a bit more underneath the neck and the head, extending both arms in front of the shoulders. Knees can stay bent here, maybe one on top of the other, but don't worry too much about it. We will use our right hand from here once again to draw a sun around us, but this sun will lead us into a twist. We'll only do that once and stay in the twist for a moment. So while you're taking your next breath, let's slide the right hand up. Imagine that's the sun rising up right toward midday, right towards the sky. And then as you're rolling over, let the sun set on the other side. That's our twist, and you could take your gaze over toward that right hand, if that's suitable for the body, for the neck. And then rest within that twist for a few breaths. You could keep that light of the sun shining from the left hand over toward the right. From where I will ask you to lift one knee after the other, only to turn yourself around. So you're lying again on the side of the body, the knees bent, head comfortable, palms touching, arms extended in front of you. Let the left hand be the sun that's rising as you take a breath in to lift it up over the head. And then as you're breathing out, you're coming over for your twist. The head can join in and look over toward your left hand, and you would rest here for a while. You can always imagine that sun that just moved across the head is shining right upon you. From this twist, I invite you straight into Shavasana. So if you kept your cushioning or bolster nearby, you might want to slide that underneath your knees. You can leave a light cushioning even rolled up like mine underneath the neck. And allow the arms to open, shoulders to relax as you find your restful shape. Now let the body soften. And as the body relaxes, you might bring awareness down into your solar plexus. I will play another version of Surya Mantra. A little bit more quiet in the background. So if you choose to listen to that, you could. Inviting your inner light to shine. Allowing the legs and feet to relax. The hips, the buttocks. Allowing your back to soften into the mat. Your shoulders and arms to soften. Belly and chest to be relaxed. The neck to be at ease. Head held by the ground. The face softening in the warmth. Whole body relaxed. Allow an image of the sun to rise in your awareness. Give this sun whatever color feels pleasing to you. Sense its presence suspended just above your mat, just above you. Warming the space all around you. Invite the nurturing, glowing rays of the sun inside you now. Allow them to brighten your every thought. Soothe your inner breath. Soften and warm every muscle, joint and bone. Allowing every part of you to be bathed in a soothing radiance. As you breathe in the essence of the sun. And as you breathe out, bath internally in this loving energy. Feel as if you are carrying the sun deep inside your heart now. With every out-breath, warmth spreads throughout your body, pulsating through every organ, tissue and limb. Spend some time just experiencing this sensation, allowing the heat to radiate from inside you. As you breathe in the essence of the sun. And as you breathe out, breathe internally in this loving energy. Connect with your own inner sun now. This pure light within you. Imagine sending light tendrils out from your heart to someone near you. maybe even in your space at this time. Send this person loving kindness and loving energy so that they too bask in the glow of the sun. As you breathe in the essence of the sun. And as you breathe out, bath internally in this loving energy. Now bask in the silence of your own internal sun. Slowly let go of the image of the sun, but know that it is there to light your way anytime you choose. Draw on the sun's power to awaken you. Feel the vital life force emanating throughout you. While you bring yourself back into this moment on your mat, more alert, more awake. You might mentally repeat after me. I invite the image of the sun to fill my spirit, soothe my heart, and liberate my mind. Moving the body a little. Maybe allowing a stretch. And then returning back into a seated position, where we touch the hands back together as we started so many times in front of our hearts. A light, gentle bow to our own hearts, to which we lifted the sun multiple times within us. From this loving energy, we're extending to each other. Namaste.